There are objects in fantasy that hold power, and then there is the One Ring, forged in fire, born of deception, infused not merely with magic, but with intent, a fragment of a dark mind, shaped into gold. The ring was never just a weapon. It was never simply a tool of domination. It was a living extension of a will that did not sleep, a will that did not forget, a will that waited long before it betrayed Isildur, long before it slipped from the hand of Gollum, long before it found its way to a quiet hobbit in the Shire. The ring had already begun its silent work. Tonight, we uncover the deeper truth, not how the ring was destroyed, but how it was meant to endure. In the fires of Mount Doom, Sauron did not simply craft jewelry. He poured into the molten gold something far more dangerous than strength. He poured himself, not his body, not merely his power, but his will. The ring was designed to dominate the bearers of the other rings of power, to bend kings, sorcerers, immortal beings, to enslave Middle-earth, without armies ever marching. And yet, there is something deeper, hidden in this design. Because domination requires awareness, control requires perception, and perception implies consciousness. The ring did not merely amplify Sauron's command. It acted, it reacted, it chose moments, it abandoned masters, it called out. Across distance, why would a tool need to choose, unless it was never just a tool? When Isildur cut the ring from Sauron's hand, the Dark Lord fell, but the ring did not die. It endured, and more importantly, it adapted. Isildur claimed it as Wergild, as compensation for his father and brother. Yet, even as he spoke those words, the ring had already begun whispering, not in sound, but in thought, in pride, in justification. And when the moment came, when the river ran dark and cold, the ring slipped from his finger. It did not fall by accident. It abandoned him, because Isildur was no longer useful. The ring had learnt patience for centuries. It lay hidden, not lost, waiting. Kingdoms rose, kingdoms fell, bloodlines thinned, but the ring remained silent, dormant, aware, until it found Gollum. And even then, it did not grant him conquest. It granted him survival, a long, unnatural life, in darkness. Because Gollum was not a conqueror, he was a keeper. The ring did not need a king. Not yet. It needed time. There is a question rarely asked. If the ring contained so much of Sauron's essence, was it bound to him, or was he bound to it? Sauron feared one thing above all, that someone might claim the ring and master it. Think about that. It means the ring could grant authority over its creator, which suggests something extraordinary. Within it lay not only submission, but potential rebellion. Was the ring truly seeking Sauron, or was it seeking the strongest will available? What if it did not serve? What if it sought to rule? Conclusion, then the end. The ring was destroyed in the same fire that birthed it, but destruction is not the same as silence, because the ideas it embodied, domination, corruption, power through fear, those did not vanish with molten gold. The ring was more than an artifact. It was a philosophy, and philosophers do not burn, they wait, just as the ring once did.